Once we have a button set up, we can start off from where we left off last time. So we have the for loop here, which will send a LED from the green to the red, and then from the red back to the green. But now we only want to do this when the button is pressed. So what we have to do is up in startup, we have to go pin mode, then we have to select the pin that we want. So I have my button on pin 3, and then we want to make it into an input. Now we want to be able to query if this button is on or not. The way we do this is we do a digital read, so we're reading the pin. For now we're just going to read pin 3. Now if the button is pressed down, this will turn into a 1. If it is up, it'll be 0. So what we want to now do is we're going to want to use our if loop. So we're going to say if the button is equal to 1, then you can enter in here and run this code. If this button is not on, then it won't run. As you can see right now, nothing happens, but when we press the button, we go up and then we jump back. Does nothing, goes up, jumps back. So it's just cycling around waiting for us to press the button, and then as soon as we press the button, it can enter the loop. And if we hold down the button, then it will loop constantly because the digital read 3 will always be on. So it's almost as if we didn't even put it there. But now, do you see how if we press it and we take it off, that it completes the loop regardless of if our finger's there or not? Now we're going to leverage a new loop. We're going to call this the while loop. So now we're going to say while the button is on, we want to be in these loops. However, once we're in a for loop, the while loop doesn't matter anymore because it's going to want to complete the rest of the for loop before stopping. So we need to get rid of the for loops, and just to make life simple, let's only deal with one for loop at a time. So let's start off by making an integer. We'll call it I, and we'll make this equal to 8 because our first pin is 8. Then we're going to want to write onto I now. And after every time we go through here, we want to do I plus plus. So we're going to start at 8. We're going to turn on that. Then we're going to turn it off. Then we're going to go and we're going to go again. And while this is on, this is going to happen. And then once this turns off, it's going to come back out here and reset it to 8. Oops. So now we can see when I press the button, it starts and it stops. It starts and it stops, and it starts and it stops. And if I go halfway, it just stops and it starts at the beginning again. Let's say we just wanted it to go up constantly. So every time that let's say if I was equal to 13, I is equal to or greater than 13, we want to make I is equal to 8. So every time that we reach 13, so we're going to want to do it to 14 because on 13 it'll go through here. This will make it 14, and then when it's 14 it'll go back to 8. So that the next time it runs it'll be 8. So every time it gets to 14, every time we get to the last red LED, we're going to jump back to the first green one. So we're going to go up and down into the green one. Alright, and as we can see, we always start at the green one and we gently work our way up to the red. And then once we get to the red, we start back at the green instead of going forever into whatever numbers it could possibly count up to. If you wanted it to remember where it was, you could possibly move this all the way up to above your void setup. So up here, this is what we call our global variables. And we'll just chuck I equals 8 up here. So when the program runs, before it does anything, it just sets I to 8. So that way when we upload it, I will always stay up there, but it never gets reassigned as it was getting down here. So whatever I was is where it will start back up. So as we can see, wherever we left off is where we'll start up. Now what you should aim to do is we should aim to make a while. You know what? You don't even need to use it. Make a code that goes up and down and remembers the position of where it was. So we want to do the exact same as what we did last time. We want to go up from the green, hit the red and come back, and we want to keep bouncing between the two. We don't want to just go up to the green and then go restart back to the green. We don't want this statement. We want something that's going to reverse it and then just keep reversing it back and forward.